Hello people of YouTube, welcome back to another review on my channel, and today we're going to be looking at the Transformers Legacy United Transformers Animated Optimus Prime, a figure that I've been really excited for, and I got him for Christmas, and already saying, this guy has been sitting on my desk non-stop. I have not been able to put this guy down. He's so fun to mess with. He looks great, despite some things that I'll get into. Well, actually right now, because we're gonna start off with the aesthetics of this guy as always. First of all, the face sculpt is pretty nice. The helmet does look really accurate, and I think it's probably like the most accurate thing of the entire figure, because he is another one that is suffering from the whole G1ification that Legacy had going on. I don't think it looks terrible. Like, you can still definitely recognize that this is animated Optimus Prime, but the proportions are like even more stylized than they were on the original. But I personally don't have an issue. I think this guy looks great. But yeah, this head sculpt is just straight up from animated, and I've not seen the show, and I can still recognize this one. It looks great. He has a bit of a more stoic expression, but I think this kind of fits. A lot of people say that Transformers need to have more expressions on their head, and I am definitely all for that. But for Optimus Prime, I guess it kind of fits. He's like this heroic, calm, calculated leader, and I think this very much fits. He does have some very nice paint applications on there, and it's overall just like really great. I love it. Moving down to the chest, we do have the windshields, which are actually inserted. They're not painted on. They're actually like partially translucent, which is really cool. And just a little detail I wanted to show you. There's actually amateur detailing inside the chest, because this is what becomes the front of the truck in truck mode. But this is really cool. They did not need to do it, but they put it in as an Easter egg anyway. That is very nice. Anyways, moving on, we do have the headlights here, which are okay. Like, they're just like yellow spots of paint, but I think it definitely works. They're not terrible or anything. And you do also have kind of like abs here. That looks very cool. Yeah, moving on to the arms. The Autobot symbol here is very nice, and the arms overall do look pretty great. They're very wide, a bit more stylized than the animated design, whose arms were a bit more slim, I think. And the forearms, especially to me, are interesting because the outside and the bottom of the forearms are not painted, but this right here, I think, is painted, and this is just blue plastic, which does not match. Like, 100% on camera is not terrible. Actually, speaking of the color real quick, I like the blue. And the red, it's a little bit more pink than it appears on camera. It's a bit of more pinkish red, and it doesn't like 100% match the aesthetic of animated Optimus Prime, but it still definitely looks good, and I like how they did the forearms, because they could have made these blue, but I don't think they did, because it would just look stupid in truck mode. So I think what they went with here is quite nice. It doesn't look that bad. Then moving down to the crotch, it's like a crotch you see on a lot of Optimus Primes. Blue crotch, yellow stripes, very nice. And the legs, they are a bit skinny compared to the rest of the body, but I think that kind of fits the stylization this figure leans into. They do look very nice. They do have some printed detailing here. Nice. Do have the knee pads sticking out quite far, but that also kind of fits with this, and it's not terrible. The only thing that really bothers me is that when posing, you do get this gap here, which doesn't look that good, but oh well, it's not a huge detriment. And then you also get the shins, which are nicely sculpted, and the feet, which are just flat, but that helps them stand. Yeah. Now let's look at the accessories. Yay, it looks good. I forgot to say that. I'm stupid. Accessories. Now turning to accessories, we do have Optimus Prime's Battle Axe, which looks really nice. You have some nice sculpted detail right here. And you do have the... I don't think this is dual molded, I just think the silver is painted on right here. But it still looks very nice with the translucent blue bit right here. That's so cool. Wow, very nice. You also get a blast effect port right on the back if you do have something that fits you. He doesn't come with anything, but you could put something in that fits you, like a blue blast effect. That's pretty cool. You do have some pegs here that you can just use them to actually put on the back of the figure, which is nice, so you can technically have it on his back. That's cool. And you can also extend the axe, so you can actually like hold it with both hands. I think I also just prefer it with it being like extended, because when it's not extended, it just ends up looking stupid in his hand. Like, look at this. I don't like this. But as I said, yeah, he can dual wield this technically if you can just kind of get him to hold it. Yeah, like that. That does look pretty cool though, although the forearm's sticking out here a little bit. But it's a very nice accessory. Then we also get this right here. This is I don't know. I don't think this was like, it's on the animated design, but I think this should have just come like as a fixed part on the figure. I don't think we really like needed this. It is just this red plastic painted in, or translucent red plastic painted in red, and then you have the blue over here. It looks quite cool, and you can attach it to his back if you're not stupid like I am, which is where I would have just preferred it to like always be on. I think they should have just molded that in there somehow. And then you can technically also put it on his forearm, though there is this peg right here that is just doesn't peg in anywhere and just kind of sits on the paint of the forearm a little bit, so I am afraid of that scratching off. But yeah, it's okay. Don't really need it. Don't really care for it. But I'm just gonna leave it. I'm just gonna leave it on here. So now let's get into the articulation. First of all, the head is on a ball joint. It does look up quite nicely. It also has like a little hinge in here, so you can extend the range there even further. Can also look down just a tad bit. Looks kind of nice. You do get your full rotation in both directions and even some tiltage. It's just the most minimal bit if you just get them to look to the side, but it's okay. Then moving on to the shoulders. They can move up 90 degrees, which is nice. To get a full rotation. Bicep swivel and very deep, like all the way elbow bends. This is kind of for the transformation, but it is cool that it is here. It's a double jointed elbow and it works very nicely and very smoothly. Then we also get wrist rotation, which I think is like they did this in a very clever way. For transformation, his hands need to fold into the forearms, and how they did this is they put a ball joint right here, so the hand can still rotate when in robot mode, and you can just fold it in when you want to transform it. That's genius. I don't think like they've used this on too many figures. Like I think 86 Megatron has this. Well, I'm not sure if any others do. Do make me aware of some that do in the comments, please. I'd like to know that. Anyways, moving on to the waist, it does rotate very nicely. Full 360, nothing getting in the way there. Legs do kick out forwards all the way, backwards all the way, and splits test. Almost full splits, just a tad bit. It's limited a bit by the scope, but like it's still great articulation. You don't need Optimus Prime to do the splits. Like I don't think that's necessary. Do have thigh swivel, deep, very deep knee bends that are pretty nice for getting him into like a kneeling pose. That's pretty good. Then you do get ankles, ankle rockers, sideways. They do work pretty well, and you do also get this toe hinge, not toe hinge, like I'm stupid. What do you call this? I can't speak English right now. his feet move like this. Sorry, I'm just having a brain fart right now. But overall articulation, like, this is really dang good. I love it. It's so jam-packed, full of articulation, and he can just pose very well. I just love it. Actually, let's look at some poses. Please stand. Thank you very much. Now turning to the transformation, this is actually like very, very enjoyable. It's a lot of fun, and he's already just untabbing. That's one annoying thing. This doesn't really want to stay in place. It just untabs from time to time, and that just makes the whole torso fall apart. But I don't know if this is like a widespread issue. It's just either me like picking him up in dumb ways or just a QC thing. But anyways, to start off, we're gonna want to open up the forearms, flip the hands in, again on that very cool ball joint thingy, and then bring that all the way up and peg it in here. Do the same thing for the other side, bang, and then rotate the arm 180 degrees, and then bring out the shoulders like this. At least that's how I like to do it, and I think that's actually also how you're supposed to do it. Then unpack the back piece, unpack the front piece, and then unpack these things, and then bring the entire torso up like this. Then what you're gonna want to do next is flip these up. This entire assembly will just rotate up, and then bring those in there. And you have the head in between here, like in between the arms, and you're gonna want to peg these in, like, see this right there. If you just push it all the way in, it will peg in to place, but it has to sit like in a very specific spot, and the arms also need to be perfectly flush, otherwise the front of the truck will just not fit together. Then just peg this all into each other so that sits flush, and then bring the roof over and also peg it in. So basically now have the front of the truck, and then turning to the back, you're going to want to rotate all of this 180 degrees, and then bring it in and tab it right into there so that it sits securely. Then take the legs, unpeg this like that, and then just bring all of this stuff out here. Same on the other side. Then move the feet up, and these little things here that are going to go in right there, and these little holes, they'll just hold that into place. This one, it doesn't really like holding in on mine. It just doesn't sit flush in there. I don't know why it does that, but it does that, so we'll have to accept that. And then finally, just bring the legs together here, like that. So now they all together, that the cap doesn't fall apart. And then finally fold the legs all the way around, and they'll just peg in at the sides very nicely. And there you do have, my god, stay down. There you have animated Optimus Prime in his very cool truck mode. Now, all things considered, this is quite accurate to the show. It looks really good from the front, especially like the grill here, and how it looks is very angular. I like that. It's cool. The back is where it just falls apart a little bit, because you just have the feet hanging out here. There's a bit of a gap inside here that you can still see, which is but like this is still totally acceptable. As I said, the foot here just wants to come up every once in a while. It doesn't really want to stay plugged in. It's annoying, but it still looks okay. The wheels just being straight up plain black is okay. Like, I don't think they needed to paint this. I think that would have been a bit out of the budget. But oh well, it's okay. Speaking of the wheels, he does roll quite nicely, which is very cool. I always like it when Transformers roll very well, and like overall the front is really good, the back not so much, but still a cool vehicle mold and a good figure overall. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this review, and if you did, hope that I'll see you again next time. JJo's out. Peace.